Hey there, good folks. Dr. Charlie Brown here. Welcome to today. Let us take our at least three, I know I might need more than three, our three deep breaths to join and gather with one another today. So I want you to breathe into your heart this time. Breathe. Oh, you see, I'm holding on to my heart. I want you to breathe. Let's adjust that a little bit. There we go. Breathe into your heart this time. Totally breathe into my belly. Fill your lungs up nice and strong. First, how are you doing? There's a lot happening in the world at the moment. Let us pay attention to all that is happening and maybe create our own bubble to shield ourselves in some way from that. That's what I've done. I've sort of created my bubble and I said, universe, this is what's happening in my bubble. And something like social distancing can have huge ramifications, particularly on people who already have mental health things that are considered not normal. So this is a really good time to check on, in addition to medical workers and personnel and people who are out there every day kind of dealing with this, people who are still going to work and work around other people, check on them. Check on finance and IT people because they've probably been really busy and have had to make a lot of changes in the structure of the companies they support. Check on teachers, check on parents, spouses. We want everyone to come out of this alive. And I say that jokingly, but it also has obviously much more serious implications as far as if you know people who have already suffered from depression and anxiety and maybe general malaise or have suicide ideation, check in with those people. It's also important to recognize that you yourself may be in a heightened state of maybe emotional or mental awareness or psychological awareness. I know that myself, I've been fatigued because suddenly I'm doing a lot of things. I've started a morning, call it mindful moments with Dr. Charli. Just as we're all getting through this, as many of us are home and perhaps haven't been home before, we might need a 5-minute break to just gain a tool that helps us be solid in this 5 minutes. And so I encourage you to check those out. And it's daily. It's every weekday, somewhere in the 10 o'clock hour, 10 a.m. Eastern time. And really just check in. I've been calling people. Yesterday, I was finishing up a class, and then there was a virtual birthday party, and then I had been invited to speak on someone else's program, and then so after those 3 video things, then I talked to, I think, 5 different people on the telephone, and I went to sleep very quickly. That wore me out. I am an introvert. You may not believe that in the video. I am an introvert, which means that I recharge by myself. And so that was a lot of peopling. And yesterday was my day off. So that was even more peopling than really any day. And certainly for it to be a day off for me. So really let's be aware of the mental health implications that everything is having. And social distancing may be a thing if you are an extrovert. Extroverts are probably suffering a lot at the moment in the sense that they are used to gaining energy from other people and they can't go out and be around other people. So really this is a message to check on everybody. And maybe you break that down into manageable parts. Maybe you do that a few people at a time. It looks like we're at least in this for another couple of weeks. So maybe every day you talk to 2 people. And if that's too much, maybe you pick 2 people a week to talk to and just work your way through whatever your levels of importance are, however that works for you. It might be a good time to catch up with people you've not spoken to in a while after you've done maybe a quick check-in with your family and close friends. But But let's be mindful of that. People who have anxiety are probably really, really anxious right now. Can we have compassion for that? Can we check in with them in maybe just a different way? Maybe it's a text message. They also may not want to talk. And so understanding that and being mindful, holding space for that in a compassionate way to really just maybe show ourselves a little compassion and allow that compassion to spill outward to others and check on folks. It's people that are relatively new to my life were suddenly checking on me, and I really appreciated that. And that encouraged me to do the same for other people who were either new into my life or that I hadn't spoken to in a long while. So check on your people, especially the people who already had mental health things that were going on that you may know about or may suspect, because if you suspect it, chances are it's probably true. And check on the people that you don't suspect it at all. Like, this person is fine. Check on them. They may be in need. They may be hiding something really well, or they may be fatigued. They may be tired, have compassion fatigue, all of that. And maybe there's some ground rules around what you talk about, and maybe it's not the current world happenings. Maybe it's something light and fuzzy and warm, and maybe it gets really deep and really dark. And holding space for that. Sometimes people just need a listening ear, and you don't have to come up with solutions necessarily. Sometimes they just need to know that you're there. So I do encourage you to make the best of whatever situation you're in right now. Reach out to folks. Don't let distancing mean isolation. And take care of yourself and your own needs too. I recognized that I needed to rest. My mom recognized that she needed to rest. She was supposed to. She had the login for the thing I was doing yesterday, and she was having trouble on the phone. So she turned on her computer and put her password in, and promptly fell asleep and woke up an hour later like, what happened? So it's okay to be tired. It's okay to suddenly have so many things going on that your brain is a little frazzled. Go back to your breath. We do this all the time. Check out some previous videos, Charli chats. Check out this new video series, Mindful Moments. We have a lot of tools. There's an abundance of tools to help us get through. And really, we need to be connected to each other. So let's remember to connect and be connected to one another in real life, in distancing ways. If you're visiting someone and you're doing it, at a distance. I know someone who she visited her parents. She and her dog visited her parents, and her dog was confused about why he had to stay in the car. And they were on the porch, and she visited them from, standing at her car. So we can still find creative ways to connect, even if we have to be distant from one another. So continue to be well and take the steps for your excellent care, for your loved ones' excellent care as you can and as you need to. Remember to rest. I took a nap. I want to say a couple of days ago, I was just like, oh, afternoon, it's nap time. And I was a sleepyhead in my bed in a nap because I was just tired. I was fatigued. This has been an elevated level of energy for me, more than I've experienced in a very long time. So please be gentle with yourself and others. Please be compassionate. Remember that we're all going through a slightly different version of this same story. And perhaps we're not. Sometimes maybe we're going through radically different versions of this. And just remember to check on people, rest as you need to, and to take great care. Until we meet again, if you're interested in finding out more about what I do, check out my website, drcharlibrown.com. And I hope to see you again soon. Until that time, do take great care. Do take great care.